Today in the show, a complaint to FIFA has blocked Diomande's transfer to Real. Cristian Romero is one step away from joining Inter for 40 million euros, while Tottenham launches a double attacking reinforcement through Savinho and Gakpo. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo officially seals the most important transfer of his life. We talk about all this and much more right now. We decided to bring clarity to what is actually happening with Diomande's transfer to Madrid Real and what the actual holdup is. Of course, it's interesting to watch various insiders attack Fabrizio Romano, who issued his famous "Here we go" back on June 26, yet there is still no official confirmation of the transfer. However, we can confirm this information. Real has completely agreed terms with Diomande, and the delay arose due to a legal conflict involving the Ivorian footballer's representatives. The primary reason for the current pause lies in an official complaint submitted to FIFA by former agent Max Gradel, who considers the contract termination in favor of Jay-Z's Rock Nation agency to be illegal. The clubs fully agreed a compensation fee in the amount of 120 million euros, but FIFA temporarily suspended the issuance of the international transfer certificate. Because of this, the Madrid side is forced to wait, as paying commission fees to the wrong party risks serious lawsuits at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. In parallel, a sporting factor also existed. RB Leipzig was buying time to find a replacement in the market before granting final clearance for the player's departure. Nevertheless, the Madrid side's lawyers are already preparing a petition to the regulator for a provisional license that would allow Diomande to play. Since FIFA usually operates on the principle of protecting a footballer's sporting career while agents' monetary disputes are moved to separate escrow accounts, closing the deal remains merely a matter of time. The world's most popular goalkeeper Vozinha has signed an 18-month contract with Colo Colo through the end of 2027, joining the club as a free agent following the end of his spell with Chaves. The 40-year-old goalkeeper Josimar Jose Evora Diaz receives a substantial salary increase, which will stand at around $25,000 to $27,000 per month. The lengthy delay in his arrival to Santiago was linked to additional visa and legal procedures for citizens of non-Mercosur countries. But at the capital's airport, the veteran was met by hundreds of supporters with flags and flares. The goalkeeper gained global fame thanks to a phenomenal World Cup performance, where he helped his national team reach the round of 32 for the first time in history. The veteran kept a clean sheet against Spain, pulling off 7 saves, and delivered a brilliant performance against Argentina, earning a spot in the tournament's team of the tournament. His success triggered a cosmic explosion on social media. The goalkeeper's Instagram account rocketed from 40,000 to nearly 30 million followers, turning him into one of the most popular media figures in world football. In Chile, the goalkeeper's move sparked legal debates, as his real name is Josimar Diaz, while Vozinha is merely a football nickname, the use of which on playing kits is strictly prohibited by local regulations under threat of fines. However, despite these strict regulatory rules of the Chilean Primera, the league hierarchy made a special exceptional amendment, allowing the goalkeeper to play with the name Vozinha on his back. The official signing of paperwork closes the transfer saga, as the experienced goalkeeper is tasked with becoming the team's headline star in the Copa Libertadores. Cristian Romero is close to moving to Inter, as the Italian club reached an agreement in principle on a verbal basis with Tottenham regarding the compensation fee. Initially, the Londoners demanded between 50 and 60 million euros, but after the 28-year-old defender personally informed management of his desire to switch clubs, the price tag was reduced to 40 million euros. The recent signing of John Stones as a free agent by no means rules out the Argentine's transfer, as the Milan side is conducting a large-scale defensive overhaul due to ending partnerships with Stefan de Vrij and Francesco Acerbi. A 3-5-2 tactical system demands deep rotation to compete in Serie A and the Champions League, where Stones is brought in as a ball-playing defender to build out under pressure, while Romero is viewed as an aggressive profile destroyer. However, the deal currently sits on a brief pause due to financial details of the personal contract. At the club level, everything is agreed, but the defender demands to maintain his London wage, so the Milan side needs to lighten their wage bill. To cover the Argentine's salary expectations, management must first execute several outgoing transfers, as other European clubs have intensified interest amidst this delay. For a long time, Atletico, led by Diego Simeone, showed interest in the central defender, and Arsenal kept the situation monitored. But it is Inter that retains the highest chances of wrapping up the deal. Manager Roberto De Zerbi has already prepared the Londoners' defensive ranks for their captain's departure in advance by signing Marcos Senesi and Jan-Paul van Hecke. A final decision from the Milan hierarchy is expected shortly. Savinho remains the top priority for Tottenham in the summer transfer window, as negotiations with Manchester City, which have dragged on since May, have finally moved off dead center. The process was significantly drawn out due to the 22-year-old Brazilian's active contract running until 2031 and the Manchester side lacking any need to urgently release the player. Furthermore, the Londoners, having spent over £230 million on transfers this summer, attempted to drive down the price or secure installment payments. However, the decisive breakthrough came via a personal statement from the winger. The player informed management of his desire to leave for regular playing time under Roberto De Zerbi. Currently, the clubs are seeking a compromise on the add-on structure around a £60 million fee. In parallel, Tottenham plans to sign another winger in addition to Savinho and has made Cody Gakpo their second key target. Management has already contacted representatives of the 27-year-old Dutchman, as the manager views him as an ideal performer for his system. However, Liverpool is in absolutely no rush to let the forward go, despite a modest past season tally of 9 goals and 5 assists. Following Mohamed Salah's departure, maintaining attacking depth is critically important for the Merseysiders, while the forward's versatility and low injury rate make him a valuable asset. To protect themselves from losing the player, Liverpool slapped on a prohibitive price tag of £72 million sterling. This sends a clear signal that there will be no discounts due to a single weaker season. The London club will have to shell out the market maximum or seek other options. Despite the complexity of the talks, discussions between the parties remain open. Darwin Nunez could continue his career in Turkey, as Al Hilal, having failed to receive desired offers for a permanent transfer of the 27-year-old forward, offered the Uruguayan on loan to Turkish giants. In the summer of 2025, the Saudi club invested over €50 million to acquire the striker from Liverpool, signing a contract through 2028 with a salary of €24 million per year. However, due to strict foreign player limits and the arrival of Karim Benzema, the striker found himself left out of the squad registration for the second half of last season, so the Saudis are searching for options to minimize financial losses. Since European and Arab clubs refused to pay the demanded price tag between 40 and 45 million euros, Al Hilal officially offered the striker on loan to Turkish giants Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe, Galatasaray, and Trabzonspor. Beşiktaş stands closest to reaching an agreement, discussing a loan formula worth €4 million on the condition that the Saudi side covers a substantial portion of the player's high salary. For the Saudis, such a deal represents the sole pragmatic solution, as unilateral contract termination would force them to pay the footballer over €47 million in compensation with zero financial return. Conversely, a loan will allow them to free up part of the wage bill, receive compensation, provide the striker with European Cup match practice, and sell him profitably later. Nunez himself seeks a return to Europe to secure regular playing time and preserve his spot in the Uruguay national team setup. It is confirmed, Cristiano Ronaldo is finally sealing the most important transfer of his life. The 41-year-old forward, who throughout his career captured dozens of trophies and signed hundreds of multi-million-dollar contracts, decided to place his signature on the most responsible document. On August 8, he officially marries Georgina Rodríguez. The celebration was organized immediately following the end of his World Cup campaign, deciding that after years of deliberation, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, and thousands of press rumors, this move to husband status simply cannot be postponed to the next transfer window. The official religious ceremony will take place on Saturday at the historical 15th century Funchal Cathedral in his native Madeira. A private party and banquet for guests will take place at the 5-star Savoy Palace Hotel, where tightened security is comparable to a Champions League final. The couple prudently reserved 2 full floors and several lounge areas so that no inquisitive journalist or paparazzi could ruin the most important clean sheet of the Portuguese's life. The event invites exclusively the closest circle of relatives, football stars, and close friends. It seems this is the only statistic where the Portuguese needed so much time to reach his target. Meanwhile, in purely football matters, Cristiano remains fully focused. His record stands at 974 official career goals, of which 828 were scored for clubs and 146 for the Portugal national team. To reach the coveted and historic milestone of 1,000 goals, he needs to score just 26 more. And the only question now is, what happens first, the 1,000th goal or the newlyweds' official first dance?